After graduating high school, I decided to attend Penn State Behrend in Erie, PA to study mechanical engineering. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen in my future, but I was optimistic. In the first few days there, I learned that my dorm, Ohio Hall, was located just a few minutes walk from the Wintergreen Gorge. I spent a lot of time out there in the gorge while I attended PSB, and the lessons I learned there are some of the most valuable experiences I've had in my whole life. So I'm going to talk about these experiences and how they shaped me into the person I am today. When you first walk out into the woods, you're quickly greeted with the view from the lookout. It's a beautiful view, so many huge trees that change to beautiful red-orange hues as fall settles in. However, from up top, you could see a stream at the bottom, and I remember wanting to get down there to explore. I quickly learned from other students that you could walk down the sides of the gorge and get to the stream at the bottom, but it is no walk in the park. It is a fairly treacherous 300-foot hike to get down there. However, the beauty that lives at the bottom makes it absolutely worth the while. Taking this hike every day after class is where I learned the first of many lessons from the gorge. Adventure isn't just going to find you and ask you to tag along. You have to go out of your way to find your own adventure in life, and you'll have to take plenty of risks along the way to get where you want to be. Now, it's time for a story. I had a few buddies at Behrend, but one friend stood out much more than the rest, and I would consider him one of my best friends ever. His name is Ryan, and I spent hours in the gorge with him, as we were both on a similar journey of self-discovery at the time. One day, while we were walking along the stream at the bottom, it started to rain. We knew we had to get out quickly, because all the rainwater runs to the bottom of the gorge, and the stream will fill up quickly. We tried both regular routes to leave, but they were already too muddy to travel. We were stuck, but we didn't just give up there. So we grabbed some strong sticks and used them to climb right up the almost vertical slope to the top. It was one of the most physically demanding things I had ever done, but we did it, and we made it out safely. This particular event taught me something important. If a path doesn't present itself for you, sometimes you have to pave your own path. Even when things seem bleak and it seems as though there's no light at the end of the tunnel, if you have the dedication, you can still power through that adversity and achieve your goals. I learned that any obstacle can be overcome with hard work, and that you can dig yourself out of any hole if you're willing to put in the effort. Lastly, looking around while sitting by the stream, you quickly notice the history of how the gorge was formed. As the water erodes the rock over time, it leaves its history visible to you. You can see how each water level throughout the past carved a line into the sides of the rock, creating a kind of slate, and you can see this pattern all 300 feet up to the top as well. This water has been flowing and carving away since the last ice age ended, and it is still doing the same today. Through this, I noticed that nature has its path, and it's going to take it no matter what. Even if a tree were to fall and hold back the stream for years, it will eventually get swept away and the stream will continue on its path. These observations are what led me to the last, but arguably the most important lesson that I learned from the gorge. That tree holding back the stream is just like me at the time, holding on to ideas about myself and the world that ultimately held me back as a person. I had to let my own stream flow, so I learned to let go of concepts that didn't serve me anymore. It may seem simple, but it can also be the hardest thing you'll ever do. Letting those fallen trees create blockages in my inner stream was just delaying the inevitable, because either way, they'll just get swept away in the end. I learned not to be afraid to be who I truly am, and to keep my stream, my life, flowing in the direction it was designed to flow. You cannot hide from your feelings. You cannot run away from your thoughts. You cannot fight the flow of your own life, and you can't pretend to be someone that you're not. While I was spending a lot of time in the Wintergreen Gorge, I was still going to class every day, and every day felt like it was worse than the last. Although I loved the gorge and the one true friend I had made there, I realized that going to school in Erie was not the right path for me in life. I was taking all the lessons I had learned and putting them to use. I realized that no part of me wanted to be a mechanical engineer. That's just what people told me I should do, and I accepted it. So, after just one semester, I returned home to rethink what I wanted to do with my life. Then, the following fall was when I started the multimedia video program at PTC to follow my passion of videography and video editing, and it was ultimately the greatest decision I've ever made. I give all the credit for this decision to the lessons I learned out there in the gorge. These lessons, among many others that would make this video far too long if I included them, are what led me to be the person I am today. They are the foundation of my values, attitudes, and morals. Being out there made me feel like I could ask the earth a question and it would respond in one way or another. I still visit the gorge a few times each year, and I plan to do so for a long time. Because who knows, maybe there are still some lessons that it has to teach me.